Worried about how a restraining order might affect your relationship with your children? Here's what you need to know. So, you've been served with a restraining order. In Indiana, those are called protective orders. And you may have children with the person that has filed this restraining order against you. And your first question might be, how is this going to affect my parenting time and my ability to see my children? First and foremost, a protective order can affect your ability to see your children, and it can affect parenting time and things of that nature if it is granted by a judge. But you might be asking what factors go into whether or not a particular protective order affects my ability to see my children. And those are determinations that a judge is going to make. On the onset, a protective order is not meant to establish custody. Things of that nature are better suited for a family law court that deal with dissolutions of marriage, custody fights, or paternity tests. Now, and while a protective order isn't the authority that either gives or denies custody, it can negatively impact your custody or parenting time with your child. But the actual custody and parenting time is better left for one of those family law courts. Now, sometimes these two can intersect. There's a civil protective order filed in a protective order court, and you also have, let's say, a divorce proceeding going on in a family law court. Well, if you're served with a protective order while you have an ongoing family law matter, it's best that you request that the protective order be heard in that family law court, because it's more likely that that court is going to know the ins and outs of the background of the relationship between you and the other person and you and your children. And at the end of the day, the court is going to do what's in the best interest of the child, determining parenting time or whether or not the court's going to allow you to see your children at all. Now, as far as protective orders go, there are things that the judge is going to look at whether or not to determine if a protective order should limit your ability to see your children. And a lot of that's going to have to do with whether or not the children saw or were around during the alleged allegations that brought forth the protective order. So if this is an instance of domestic violence and the children were at the home and potentially saw the domestic violence, that could lead a judge to be more in favor of either restricting your parenting time or denying any sort of ability to see your children while that protective order is in place. And that's why, at the end of the day, if you have children that are involved in a custody dispute where there's a protective order that's been filed, it's very important to have a defense attorney on your side that can fight for your ability to still be able to be a part of your children's life, so there's no disruption in the time that you see your children. And finally, what a lot of protective order judges will do if there is a corresponding family law matter going on is a lot of times, as far as the ability to see your children, they're going to leave that up to the discretion of the family law court. Now, if the family law court has already deemed that you're not allowed to see your children, or if there's specific parenting times, the protective order judge will likely mirror whatever the family law court judge said. But a lot of times they will also leave open the ability to modify the protective order should there be a change in circumstances in the family law side of things. If you've been served with a protective order or you're looking to have a protective order served on someone, please give us at the Marc Lopez Law Firm a phone call, 317-632-3642. And always remember, plead the fifth.